Hello students, today we are going to start our new topic, that is file handling. You know, in Python we have a chapter file handling. So what is actually file handling? And simply in Python, if we are doing some statement, suppose that we are going to print hello. So that statement gives you an output that hello. But if you want to store that particular text inside your file, in your hard drive, in hard disk, so for that purpose we have to study about file handling. It means with the help of file handling we can store our data into files. What is files? So we can categorize our data files into two types. Number one, text files. Number two, binary files. What do you mean by text files? Actually, text files is based on the ASCII or Unicodes. We studied in past. What is ASCII? ASCII means American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Suppose that for a special text capital A, there is a ASCII code 65. For capital B, it is 66. Like that, for A to capital Z, it is 65 to 90. And for a small a to small z, it is 97 to 112. Like that. This is ASCII code. So whatever we are going to save inside a text file, these tags in the form of ASCII or Unicode, it is going to store in text file. Now, number two is the binary files. And what do you mean by binary files? Actually, binary files, data is not going to show you. It is not going to store in the form of text. It is going to store in the form of binary digits like 0 or 1. Suppose that we are going to store some data regarding a shop, and we are going to regarding, suppose that soap Lux 20 pieces. So we want to store that data in the form of binary digits. Like that, it may be a code 1011001101. For 20 it is any other code. I am not specified like that. It is accurate code, but it can be a digit. So like that, the binary file store the data in the form of binary digits. So simply we can store our data in two forms. Number one, text form. Number two, binary form. And in where we can store, we can store the location in a hard drive. Suppose that we are using Python, so in C drive, in any location where our Python file, so we can store our data in location C drive. So for example, we are going to store our data. Suppose that we are going to make a program print hello, and that program is a file abc.py. You know that py is the extension of Python file. So the location of that Python file is the location of that file where we want to store that text also. It means the location is same where our Python file will located, there we will store our text file also or binary file also. Okay, so pause. Now, task of file handling. So there are three type of tasks we can perform with the help of file handling. Number one, reading data from a file. Suppose that we have a text file or binary file and we want to read that data from our Python binary file, text files. So we can start reading from that file also. Number two, writing data into file. Suppose that we have a file and we want to some data, we will take some input from user, and that input we want to write that existing file. So for that we are going to take that operation also, writing data into file. And third one is appending data into existing file. Suppose that we are managing a stock, so one by one data going to update. Suppose that in a shop there is a item Lux having 20 pieces. After purchasing 2 pieces, data should be edited. Now we want to update that data. For that we are going to append that file, existing file, and now we are going to update. So now 20 is going to change into 18. The next day other customer came and he want 3 pieces or 4 pieces. So again we are going to update, then remaining part is 14. So like that our existing file is going to append whatever whenever we want to update it. Okay, so these are the 3 tasks: reading, writing and appending in the file handling. Now how we are going to start our file handling in our programming? So for that we are going to start our file opening file. So how we are going to open our file? With the help of open function. What is open function actually? That open function is used to create a link between the file and the programming file, by which we can communicate our data to that existing file, or we can create the file. Suppose that we want to create a file abc.txt and we want to write some data which we took from a user inside that abc.txt. So what we will do? Simply we will create a open function over there. That open function used to link those files. So that link is called file object or file handle. What is file handle? File handle means a file object is a reference to a file on disk. It means it is provide a reference to link that particular file in which we are going to store our data and the current programming file where you are going to write the program over here. For example, I am going to write a simple program over here. So I am going to create a file object over here. So for creating a file object over here, there is a syntax. We can take any identifier. And any identifier means, suppose that I am taking the identifier my file. So it is a name. Identifier means my file is a name. My file is equal to that open function. Now inside the open function we are providing 2 arguments. Number 1, that is the file name. My file. Sorry, I am taking abc.txt. So I am taking abc.txt, comma, we are going that mode. In which mode we are going to open the file? We are going to open that abc.txt in the writing mode. We are going to write something. So we are going to take the mode is W. So now what is my file? My file is known as our file object. It is work like an interface between user to that text file. User is going to input something over there, and with the help of that file object we are going to provide that input into that abc.txt. Now students, we are going to access these files. So for file access we have text files mode and their description and some note points over there. Suppose that we have small r mode. R, what is this? This is semicolon. It is must. We have to write our mode inside the single inverted comma. Okay? So now R for the read only. For that file must exist. Suppose that we are going to use that read mode over there and file is not exist right now. So that time an error will occur. For write only mode, what is W? W means write only mode. For it, file does not exist, comma file is going to create. So suppose that we want to create a new file. For that we have to W is going to use. For W is for that mode you are going to only write only. You are going to only write. You are not going to read. You are not able to read that content which you are going to write that file also. For A is also known as append. For that it is also only write only mode, because you are going to write. You are not going to read the data from the file. Now R plus. What is this R plus? R plus means read and write both. But what it means, first you are going to read, then you are going to write. It means R plus. Like W plus means write and read only. For that also, first you are going to write, then you are going to read. And A plus is also, first you are going to write, then you are going to read. So some note points are also there. For R plus, file must exist, otherwise error is raised. For W plus, file created if does not exist. Suppose that we are going to write something and file is not there. So first that mode is going to create that file which is going to pass that file handler, and then we are going to write something over there. Like that append also. Suppose that what is the difference between W plus and A plus? Because in both file created if does not exist. It means suppose we are taking A plus. So A plus is used to write and read also. It means whenever we are going to edit something, so we have to read. We have to take that mode A plus. And suppose that we just only for write and read, then we have to for single time. So we have to take it W plus. Suppose that in a stock, like last example. Suppose that for taking modification that stock, we have to take A plus. For example, for the first time it is going to write and read. For second time it is going append to it is going to append. It means 20 is going to update 18, and third time it is going to suppose that 14. Fourth time it is going to 10. It is going to 5, and again some order going to place. It is going to 50. It means A plus mode is going to regularly update your data whenever you require to update the data. It means for W plus is used only for the single time, while A plus you can use in multiple time for which you want to what you want. Suppose that 10 times, 15 times, 20 times. So you are going to use A plus over there. Okay. So now after using all these functions, suppose that we want to close that file. We want to close the connection. Actually, we are not going to close the file. We are going to close the connection for that particular text file. So for what we are using close function over there. Suppose that I am taking a file handler. My file is equal to open. File name is abc.txt, and we are taking A plus mode, means write and read. We are doing something, some functionality we are doing, and last we are going to my file dot close. It means here we are going to establish the connection, and here we are going to close that. So we are using close function.